Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 278th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, 2-month update, the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project. You guys, last week, my book, Dietitian Side Hustle, officially went live. And I just have to say, for those of you who have purchased the book or are planning to, thank you so much. And quick reminder, if you are able to do a review on Amazon, that really helps. My goal is to get this book into as many hands as possible. So please be sure to share it with your friends, review, and thank you so much for your support. I'm so excited about this book. So let's dive into today's episode, and this is the update on the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project. I've been sharing kind of the journey I've been going on with diving into my blog and really approaching it from a business perspective, kind of coaching myself. So I did one episode kind of introducing this project. I did a 1-month episode update. This is the 2-month update, and I'm going to continue to give updates just because it's kind of fun. And this one I am very excited to share with you guys, and you might be surprised on why I'm so excited to share it with you. But my hope is by the time we're done with this conversation, you'll see why I'm so excited that things went the direction that they did. So here is my 2-month update for the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project. My update is I have done nothing. Nothing, my friends. And you might be like, that's not very good, Katie. How are you excited about this? I'm excited about this because this is real. And I want you guys to see what it looks like to be so excited when you start something, to set big, audacious goals, to start out strong. And then you just hit this phase where, shoot, I'm not showing up. I'm not doing the thing. What's going wrong? Because it can be so easy to get into that doom spiral of like, what's wrong with me? I suck. Why do I even try? Like that doom spiral, our brain goes down. And so I want you guys to see from someone who is in the entrepreneurial space. Obviously, you guys listen to my podcast, so you guys have some trust in me, and to see that this is normal and what do we do with it, right? So I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through some notes that I made kind of about where I'm at, the process I've been through, and what I am doing next. So let's talk a little bit about the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project, especially if you're like, what are you talking about, Katie? So 2 months ago, just over 2 months ago, I created a plan for how am I going to double my income through my online blog, The Geriatric Dietitian. I have 4 things I'm very much focused on: Pinterest, YouTube, creating a course, and building up my email list. So I'll let you know where I'm at with everything. With Pinterest, there was a course that I was doing. I have completed the course, but I have done 0 implementation with Pinterest. For YouTube, I have posted no new videos, but I did go look at my analytics, and this is kind of promising. So I do have 411 subscribers on my YouTube channel for the Geriatric Dietitian. So this is up 13 in the last 28 days. I've had 405 views. This is 185 more than usual. 67 hours of watch time, which is 17 more hours than usual. So even though I haven't posted, more people are consuming, which is the goal. Now, my course, I have made no progress. Haven't built anything. My email list is up to 188 subscribers, and so that is 63 new people in the last 30 days. So those are kind of the main components and the updates on these. So let's talk about some of the challenges that I've been facing this past month that have led to me doing absolutely nothing in this project. So challenge number 1 was being out of town 3 times. Now, I was out of town for numerous reasons, and I think we all can attest to this. When you go out of town on a trip, it's not just about the time you're gone, but it's getting ready to leave, doing all the catch-up work before you leave with work, with home, with all the things, preparing for the trip, but then getting home, the catching up you're doing. So every time I went out of town, it wasn't just the time I was gone, it was the before and after that really did have an impact on how I usually spend my time. Now, I did have a lot of fun with what I did. I ended up going to Vermont with my mom for a painting retreat. That was so fun. That was planned. I know I shared about that because I missed Fincy. by going to this retreat. And it was a lot. I mean, getting there, I had to take 3 flights to get there, 3 flights to get back. I'll talk more about how jet lag really impacted me. And then after I got back, just a few days later, I turned around and went to the coast with my friends. A really good friend of mine is moving soon, and we planned like one last hurrah, a little coast trip, and the timing just worked out to go the weekend after I got back from Vermont. And then the last trip I went on was to Florida for my business mastermind. And so, again, that was going across the country and wonderful and helpful for business, but definitely threw me off of the flow of how I typically do business. So also my book launch. So the Dietitian Side Hustle book launch, of course, took a lot of time. And as I got closer to live, there were kind of two things. I did experience some technical issues that took more of my time. I had to push back my launch by a couple weeks, and I was doing a lot of hustling to get everything done and smooth. I was also recording my audiobook for Audible. That was a beast to learn how to do it. The amount of content that I recorded, it was almost 11 hours. I think it was 10 hours and 38 minutes. And that didn't include my edit, the time for doing the edits to get the file right for uploading. Like there were so many parts that I don't know why. I did not expect my book to take that long to read. I'm like, man, I wrote a lot, almost 11 hours of content, and I talk fast. You guys know that. Also, like ongoing work and commitments. I think I shared that in the episode when I first shared the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project, looking at what are the things that I think might take me out. And that was one of them. Is like, I got a lot of things going on. I got a lot of things on my plate. I have other things, components of my business that I still have to keep up with. I also got sick. And so I was sick for like an entire week. And sick to where it took me out. Sometimes you just get a bug and you're like, oh, this is annoying. And sometimes you get a bug and it takes you out. I mean, I was taken out for a solid week, and it was so frustrating because what do you do? Also, in the last month, I've been struggling more with my migraines. I feel like I'd worked so hard to get them under control, but I'm starting to notice some things. Like, for example, I'm realizing the impact that jet lag has on me. I live in Oregon, and when I go to the East Coast, which I do pretty frequently, I'm just recognizing how much it's impacting my body. And it's really interesting because I have an Aura ring now, and all of my data gets so funky. Like everything just plummets. All of the scores are bad when I go across the country and when I come home. And it really is from that jet lag, and I think also from throwing off my sleep. And I also think that the jet lag and the migraines are kind of related too. And so the last month has just been a lot. Also, momming, lifing, things that come up. So when I look at this month 2 of this project, me doing nothing wasn't me being a slacker. It wasn't me just, not being intentional. It was just me being so busy, being taken out by health, being gone for work stuff, other commitments coming up that I was working hard. I just didn't have time to do this project I was so excited about. So when I was flying back from Florida, I was really reflecting on the fact that I set this very ambitious goal, because y'all know me, I like to set big audacious goals, of doubling my income in 4 months. I shared this in the last update that I realized that might have been a pretty ambitious goal. And will I reach it? Yes, but probably not in 4 months. And I had to decide when I was on the plane with everything going on with, my business, with my life, what do I want to do? So I had a really serious conversation with myself in my notebook when I was flying back from Florida, and I had to decide, do I want to quit? Is this maybe something I don't want to do anymore? I don't want to continue to pursue this project I'm doing. Do I want to keep continuing, just keep pushing forward, even though it's pretty clear it's not working? Or do I pivot? So here's the big picture, you guys. I have limited time and limited focus. And what I realized is I need to pivot. Because should I give up? Well, first off, I started this for a reason, right? You guys heard all my passion and excitement, and I still want to do it. And I still want more people to be impacted by the Geriatric Dietitian. I still want to, build up streams of income. I want to show you guys what's possible too. But I recognize the way things are going, this is not going to work. So let me tell you a little bit about what my plan was for the pivot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue doing YouTube, but I'm going to start doing content batching. And what this means, and I used to do this a lot when I was a side hustler, because when I was a side hustler, I didn't have a lot of time. So I would look at my schedule and I would figure out, when do I have time blocks? and I would schedule in specific tasks for my business. So what I'm going to be doing is finding one day a month to schedule and record content for YouTube. Because this was my big issue with YouTube, is that I'm out of town. Shoot, I can't record my video. I'm sick. I can't record the video. The audiobook, you guys, I was losing my voice. My throat was hurting. I actually felt sick just from talking so much. I was slurring my words. There was no way I could add onto it by recording additional content. So there's lots of reasons why I couldn't do it. And when I was recording these episodes in real time, so one a week, well, gosh, if I'm gone, then I can't do the episode. If I'm sick, I can't do the episode. So by batching it all in one time, I could record a lot of content, bust it out, and then plan ahead so that way I am not doing week by week. I've got content recorded ahead of time. So I actually do have scheduled on the books for an entire day of recording content for the Geriatric Dietitian. And so it's on the schedule. I'm going to do it. And I think one other thing, maybe you guys should relate to this or not. I feel like for this podcast and for how I show up in Dietitian Side Hustle, I just show up as me. Like right now, I'm on YouTube. I'm not wearing makeup. I mean, I might have some makeup from yesterday that I didn't completely remove under my eyes. But I'm like, this podcast is done is better than perfect. Now, the Geriatric Dietitian, I still embrace that mantra of done is better than perfect, but I've been trying to wear makeup and look presentable for that one. And so that also kind of got in the way. And I know that the women listening are like, oh yeah, man, like if I want to record some content and do my makeup, that takes additional time to get that done. So anyways, it sounds silly, but this idea of batch content creation for a day, I'm like, okay, get my makeup done, record a bunch of content, and then I just have to edit and get it live and scheduled. So that's pivot number one, is that I'm going to do batch content creation for YouTube and plan ahead. I'm going to continue with my course with my goal of getting my course live by the end of the year. I think that's really important. I want to create something for my audience to send them to, something that I think will serve them and help them. The email list is going great. I'm going to continue doing that. But one thing I'm deciding to delay is Pinterest. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Now, that Pinterest course that I took was really, really good. It was by someone that I really admire, but the technique and strategy they were teaching was very specific. And let me see if I can kind of explain this in a few sentences. What they are doing, and they're making so much money through Pinterest. I mean, they are crushing it. But they also have a full-time VA creating content, and they are putting out like about 20 pins every single day. I don't have time for that. It's like a couple hours a day of creation and scheduling. And one of the things that really caught me in the training, they were talking about how like, it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 years for their pins to kind of reach their peak viewing, meaning, they put a pin out there, maybe it doesn't pick up right away, but eventually, it gets really good traffic, but it takes time. And I am all for the long-term game. I am a blogger. I am all about long-term, but I was just overwhelmed watching the course. I'm like, I feel like this is not realistic for most entrepreneurs. And so I'm going to delay Pinterest work until I'm able to hire a VA. We'll have the time and capacity to hire a VA to help me. So that's what my pivot looks like, continuing with email marketing, of course, because that's all set up. I don't got to do much behind it. Content batching for YouTube, planning ahead, and then continuing with the plan to get my course live by the end of the year, recognizing how all of these things fit into the sales cycle and will contribute to more impact and more income. So the question that I just want to pose with everything I shared with you guys about the month 2 update of me doing nothing, was this positive or was this negative? Now, I kind of gave it away at the beginning because I'm like, I'm so excited to share my failure with you guys. You guys, to me, this is all positive because first off, it's real, right? It's real. It's life. We dream big. We start implementing, and sometimes things happen. But this isn't really failure, you guys. It's not laziness. It's not any of those things. This is just what business can look like. And it's also an opportunity to evaluate and pivot. What do I want? What can I do differently? So when I look at kind of the self-reflection I did on the plane, I was looking at what I've done well. It's like, well, I created an amazing plan. I finished that email part really quick utilizing ChatGPT. I built out a really awesome email sequence. I'm already getting 188 new subscribers. And I also started my YouTube up again. Like, those are things that I did really well and I'm so proud of. Where I struggled was simply limited time and limited focus. So when I really addressed what I want, I was like, you know what? I really, really want to spread the word of geriatrics. I am so passionate about it. I'm not going to go on a whole tangent here, but I know the transformative power of food nutrition in the lives of older adults, and I know the impact that it can make, and I know the detriment that it can make when people don't have access to this information. So even when I was focusing on, how am I going to pivot, I actually chose YouTube over Pinterest. I'll kind of explain a little bit of this behind the scenes. So with YouTube, I know that I could really reach more people, and through video, build that know, like, trust factor a lot faster. And I want to be able to reach more caregivers, more older adults, more healthcare professionals, anyone who needs to hear this message. So for me, YouTube, of course I can monetize that, but it's also about getting the message out there. And YouTube is like a search engine. It's a video search engine. So it really has a lot of those SEO principles of blogging. Now, Pinterest I'm pushing off because while Pinterest does have the opportunity to make money, drive people to my website, I don't think it's going to necessarily have the impact that YouTube is going to have. I mean, visual pins, it goes to my website, they could read a blog article, yes. But when I was looking at which one I wanted to focus on, for me, it was also the impact piece. Of course, the money. It's the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project. I want to 2X my income. But I also want to spread the word on something I'm so passionate about. So when I was evaluating what do I want, it's like, no, I want to do this. This is something I'm passionate about. But of course, I have to do it different because here's the thing. If I kept going down the path of trying to force myself, trying to push myself to fit into this mold that I initially set without recognizing what's happening, then I'm just going to be banging my head against the wall. My month 3 update would be the same. I've done nothing again. And then as I do that, I continue to get more frustrated at myself. Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just suck it up and do it? It's not about sucking it up and doing it, guys. It's about evaluating, why have I not been doing the thing? And again, is this what I want? And I just want to say this for anyone, if you're going through this too and you evaluate, well, maybe I don't want to do this, that's okay. That's okay. You have permission to shift and pivot completely out of what you set. I've met dietitians who thought for sure they wanted to work with clients one-on-one. They've taken courses, they've learned how to do the thing, they started their practice, and then they realized, I don't like working with clients. It doesn't make them any less of a dietitian. It doesn't mean they wasted their time or their money investing in themselves going on this path. It just meant they uncovered that this wasn't the path for them, and that's okay to pivot. The worst thing you could do is keep forcing yourself down a path that you don't love. So that's the first thing is, what do you want? If you want to do it, okay, what can we do different? If you don't want to, let's do something completely different. So for this, when I evaluate, I'm like, yeah, I totally want to do this. So the opportunity that comes from having something that you start and doesn't go as planned is that it gives you the opportunity to pivot, come up with new strategies, come up with new goals. And one of the things that I like to do when I'm looking at tasks, I like to look at what should I keep, what should I change, and what should I eliminate? And that's what I really did. So with email marketing, I'm keeping that. It's rolling just fine on its own. I'm still getting lots of traffic through SEO. Lots of people, thousands of people are coming to the website, and I'm continuing to get subscribers with how it's set up. So I'm going to keep email marketing. With YouTube, I'm going to keep it, but slightly change it with, again, scheduling one solid day per month to schedule out content, to record and schedule out content. With the course, I'm going to keep it. I'm really not changing much with that. I'm just, I'm giving myself between now and the end of the year to get it done. That's easy peasy. And with Pinterest, I am technically eliminating it for right now, but it's more just pushing it back. So that's what we do. We look at all the things on our list. Do I keep it? Do I change it? Do I eliminate it? So that's where I'm at with the Geriatric Dietitian 2-month update. I've done nothing other than getting clarity and creating a plan. So again, I was excited to share this with you guys because my goal is to try to keep this podcast real for you guys. I don't want to create this facade of, I've got it all together, I do everything perfect, I'm so awesome. That's not real. And the problem with that is when, in real life, when you guys encounter struggles, you think like, what's wrong with me? And again, there's nothing wrong with you. This is part of the process, right? It's just a matter of, what do you do when things don't go according to plan? Do you quit and give up and throw up your hands, say negative things about yourself in your head, and just completely quit? Or do you evaluate and pivot? So that's why I was so excited to share this with you guys. There was no shame in like, oh, they're going to know I did nothing. That's okay. Again, I know I'm not lazy. I know I wasn't doing nothing. I just wasn't doing anything related to this project because, again, life was lifing. I was busy. I was sick. I was traveling. All of these things that come into play. And I think this is important to understand too, because we create plans, but then life happens. And I'm just going to go to the book. So I'm going to talk about the Dietitian Side Hustle book and really how I teach all my programs. We always start with why. And that's creating a solid foundation of why are you doing the thing. And for me, the reason I'm doing the Geriatric Dietitian 2X project is actually threefold. Number one, I want to impact more people because, again, I'm so passionate about this message. Number two, I want to show you guys what's possible and also show you the path. And again, the path looks like pivoting. And then number three, I also do want to increase my streams of income through this part of my brand. So I feel like my why was strong enough that when things were tough, I'm not like, oh, I'm just going to quit this. It's too much. I'm just not going to do it. So anyways, I hope this was a valuable episode. I will continue to share updates. Hopefully the new plan I've created works. And I'm still so confident that I'm going to 2x my income in this brand. It's just the timeline's going to look a little different, and that's okay. So thank you so much for listening, my friends. If you want to learn more about all the ways we could work together, go to katiedodd.com. Go there and get the link to grab my book, dietitiansidehustlebook.com, available on Amazon. Buy the book, read the book, reach out, let me know what you think. And I appreciate you all so much. I will see you all next week on the podcast. I'm very excited for next week's episode because I do have a guest coming on. Actually, in like 2 hours, we're recording that episode. So I'm very excited for a new friend that I've made to bring her onto the podcast. And she's got so much stuff to share with you. So sneak peek for next week. Okay, friends, I will see you all next week. Bye.